Good morning!
Morning!
Hello everybody.
Hey, hey, hey.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, it's 11 a.m. and we're coffee tasting today.
Yes, we are.
Brand new coffee.
As promised, subscription, Peru.
Favourite part of the month, to be honest.
Peru. Look at this.
Trying a new coffee.
Micro lot. A guy that's got 15,000 coffee trees in the rainforest area of Peru. Exciting.
Really small
So we're
farm.
all set. So shall I start brewing these while you say hello? Because it takes a few minutes.
So we're cupping today.
We are cupping.
So, which is the way we try and taste coffee. It's quite, I guess people do this to taste the true flavour of a coffee when you're choosing a coffee to come in. So it's a bit of fun. So we thought we'd do it a bit.
Well, it's a Specialty Coffee Association method of coffee tasting, isn't it? So we're not, you can be like what's called a Q grader, where you really are able to accurately grade the coffee to the right, like 86.3 sort of level. But using the same method like this gives us a good way of tasting it. And we know we're doing the right ratios compared to the coffee standards that are international standards for specialty
and it's
coffee.
a bit of fun.
It is fun. It is fun.
So we've got, what have we got here? There's four cups here.
Yeah, I've done 4 cups of Peru.
So they're all the same coffee.
Because when you roast, you sometimes might get a rogue bean that throws the flavour off a bit. So if you were just to do 1 cup and it had, say, like what's called a blonde bean in, one that doesn't really roast properly, it might throw the flavour and you do the whole profile based on that 1 cup. You've got it wrong.
Yeah.
So you want to do at least 2. We're just doing 4 for fun. We've got kind of 2
And
each.
we've got to drink,
and you
drink
can
more
check
coffee.
like which are the ones that are most similar. If there's one dodgy one, you know it's because it's got a bean that's gone a little bit funny in it. In a whole bag, you wouldn't taste 1 little bean.
It's unusual, but it's just to make sure.
But just for tasting this
small.
small
And then you've got
amount.
a 5th cup.
5th cup, I've gone for Mexico because it's always worth doing it next to something. So I thought let's go for Mexico because it's obviously in a very similar area, South Central America, and they're both washed coffees, they're both grown at a similar height, the varieties are different, but I thought let's just compare because the notes that we've given are quite different to say it's similar. So yeah,
Well, let's find out why.
look out for those rogue beans. And I have just done one of this, but we've tasted this Mexico a lot. It was the last subscription, we've drunk lots of it, so it's more of just a bit of fun next to these guys here.
Let's start the timer.
Yeah, so there shouldn't be much difference. Hopefully we won't have a rogue bean because specialty coffee you're only allowed one error in every 350 grams, like 1 defect in every 350 grams, so you'd only expect 1 to maybe be, and it can be just broken, and if it's broken it doesn't really affect the taste. It's just a quality thing.
It's unlikely you've really noticed, but if you're wanting to just get a really good example, it's like you drink a whole bag of coffee before deciding what you thought of it instead of just 1 cup.
Yeah.
Morning guys, morning Bernie.
Bernie's talking about the rogue beans.
Watch out for the rogue beans. Rogue One.
It's making me think of a cartoon. I'll do a little bean cartoon for a rogue bean anyway.
Is that what's next?
It's because I've been drawing notes for people.
There's a new thing that's starting to happen. You might have noticed on our social media. But people, instead of, where it says gift note, when they're ordering, people have started, now I don't even know if these two are kind of related, not by family, but just in a friendship way. But one,
I don't know.
there's someone in Sheffield who started going,
I didn't start.
can you instead of a gift note, this is actually for me, but can you draw me the Mona Lisa? And Linda did it.
Well,
And then-
when we said
No,
did it,
you did it.
I didn't draw the Mona
It was
Lisa, I drew
absolutely hilarious.
some pen lass.
And then,
Looked a bit Yorkshire.
is she smiling? Or not? And
No,
then,
she's from Yorkshire.
And then, this week we had someone in Leeds, wasn't it? And that was, I won't give everyone's names away, but someone in Leeds said, this is a gift, this isn't a gift, it's for me, but can you draw me a picture of a bear or something?
No, a steaming cup of coffee.
Oh yeah.
I've got no need
Why
for
did
a
I think
gift
of a
note.
bear?
I don't know.
Oh no, that was someone else.
Someone else had a bear emoji because people put emojis
Someone
on the
put
note.
an emoji on the
Yeah.
gift note. Now,
So-
obviously, it's not obvious actually, but we hand write every gift note. So if you write a gift note,
So people put loads of love, mum. Have a great Mother's Day,
Heart.
mum a bear, and then they put like 3 bear emojis after it. I think they assume we're just going to print it.
they think it's like
Just
Amazon.
sit there.
It's like Amazon where you just print
I mean,
off the note. It
it
looks
didn't-
really informal.
It didn't look like a bear. It looked like a chubby-cheeked person. It was.
It did look like a bear. It was very good.
Emojis are quite hard
It was
to draw.
absolutely hilarious because
Oh.
then as soon as I do quite a lot of the notes while Linda's doing the bagging and roasting, and as soon as it gets to an emoji, I'm like, Linda, draw a picture for us.
But this week's was, I don't need a gift note, but I'd love a picture of a steaming
cup of coffee.
So that's
And
what
they
they
got it. So we don't want this to become too much of a thing.
No,
but,
it's
you
fun.
know, you're in our in crowd.
And
so
it's going well on TikTok, so why not?
TikTok, it is going well on TikTok. So it's just funny, isn't it? It's funny what kind of happens by accident. So if you're not really gifting it to someone, you want a picture from Linda. Just write what your requests are.
Yeah.
Get your orders in.
Yeah, get the kids. Can you imagine what they'd look like, Makeda, if the kids drew pictures? I mean, you know, they might
Well, actually,
win some, but there's so many of those threads going around out there of kids drawing, like, here's a picture of my mum. Some really funny ones.
a few other people have said, "Oh, that's on This Morning, aren't there?" There's some great
Yeah.
clips of This Morning on AT. So, Makeda Morning. I just say quick hellos because some people have joined, like
Yeah.
Vicky as well, and a few others are commenting. Just say hello. Thanks for joining. We're coffee tasting today. The brand new Peru, which has not gone live on the website, but it's coming out to everyone on our subscriptions this week. Peru coffee from a Micro Lot farm. Coffee winging its way to you now. Now,
I'm just ready to start
okay.
breaking the first one, which is your job.
Also, the drawings just reminded me. You go for it. Oh, you want me to do it?
Well, that one's first,
Okay.
isn't it? 'Cause we've got
Oh,
it
sorry.
first. Getting told.
Right, no chat.
No, we can chat. Do you know what I can smell?
Fruit toast.
Another deep heat on my leg.
Oh, Linda.
I keep doing something to my muscle and all I can smell is deep heat. It's kind of interfering with the experience here. But it's cleared my nostrils.
Is this one to tip into, or is this a...
Yeah.
So what we do is we break the crust from the top, and then we're just going to scoop away.
You just do 3 gentle stirs back to front, which means any heavy solids sink, and then you get all the little floaters on top, which is nice, isn't it? Oh, there we go.
Because you don't really want to taste. The only reason we take out, we just almost scrape the top of any floating
I've got over
coffee.
here.
The only reason we really do that is because you don't want to drink it. You don't really
Yeah,
want
when
a
you slurp
bitty
it.
taste. So it's amazing how much does naturally either sink or just float, scrape the top, and you've just done a cafetiere effectively, but without plunging it. Because you don't need to. Well, funny story, when we were in Uganda, it's not that funny, but when we were in Uganda,
You've built it up now.
we had, we were at the accommodation near to the coffee station, and we were having breakfast with some Ugandans on a big shared table, and these guys did started doing a coffee in their cup just like this,
Oh yeah.
and we were like, oh, do they know there's a cafetiere over there, kind of thing? You know, it's like, oh, you could.
Yeah,
use-
they spooned it in like instant into the mug, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then just poured hot water on it, and we were like,
So we were thinking, silly man.
do they know it's
He
not
doesn't
instant
know it's not
coffee?
instant, does he?
And it looked gross and floaty.
And then later on in the day, he was like one of the key leading Q grading coffee tasters at the coffee station, and he knew exactly what he was doing, and he was just doing one of these.
He's come from Kampala, hadn't he?
He'd come over from Kampala, so it was absolutely hilarious because he was really,
They were
he
like,
was
"Hello."
way ahead of us in terms of all his knowledge of tasting coffee, and we were like, silly man, does he know?
Which is interesting, all the faff we do. He just put some coffee in the bottom of the cup, poured the water on, let it all float to the top, and I didn't watch really. I assume he scooped the top off and drank his coffee.
He was very happy.
And he didn't have the coffee from there.
And
he
brought
got
his
a little
own
packet of coffee out, so we should have known he was knowing what.
Oh
Yeah.
dear, it was funny though.
We had that, oh, we're here for the coffee feeling about us, and we were
Does
so
he know?
wrong, so
and then
wrong.
he was the key buyer taster. Another thing, going back to my drawing story and kids drawing.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday, because Linda's been doing some new designs of, you know how if you've had any of our parcels, or any of them, in fact, the bags and the parcels all have drawing. I was going to say scribbles.
You can say scribbles. I don't mind that.
Doodles and
I'm not
drawings
confessing
about
to being an
coffee and the roasting process and all that. And then some have been done by Polly, an artist that worked for us, sometimes joins us, and
She's an artist. I'm the doodler.
She's the artist. She did some of the cafetières that were in our brew guides and the V60s. Anyway, Linda's been doing some new ones for a new wholesale box we do, one of the bigger ones. And then I think it inspired Brooke, our 7-year-old, who's now started on the iPad doodling, drawings, and writing, what coffee would you like to taste at your 11 a.m. and all this. And I was like, oh, that's really good, really good.
Big smiley face.
Big smiley face. And then she goes, this is for your box, Dad. And I was like, box? For our box? What do you mean it's on the box? He said, it's on the box? You mean like TV? Thinking like, it's not even a box anymore, is it? So she wouldn't get
No,
that.
she wouldn't know that.
Anyway,
No,
then it suddenly
designed our
twigged on
new,
me. She means print it onto a new box. And I
It's
was
just this
thinking,
massive smiley face with its tongue sticking out, going, coffee, I am happy. So I think we should go with it. We should
Yeah.
do it. Right then, shall we,
It's always
do you mind
awkward, isn't
slurping? If you don't like slurping, you might,
So
well, you've probably
do,
muted us
why, do
already,
we,
to be honest.
why do we slurp, Linda?
To
Just go that way so they can see that.
hit all your taste buds, get all the flavours, cover your tongue and your mouth, so that you don't just have a sweet salty hit or anything on the front of your tongue and all that, and get air in, aerate it to spray it around your mouth like that.
It's weird how much more flavour you get if you slurp.
I can still just smell
It's
deep
just a bit gross when you're at home, isn't it? Or with people. So you wouldn't normally, but I mean, we're with you guys, but
It's like wine, isn't it? They do it with wine.
do you? Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah.
Really. I
Well,
don't
no,
really
you
think of it.
don't. You do if you're wine tasting.
Right.
Same thing. No, don't sit and slurp your wine of an evening. That's not going to enhance
Not
my
great, is it?
TV watching,
We're
is it?
tasting, if you're just joining us, we're tasting the brand new Peru coffee that's just come in.
Wowzers.
And Linda's going to tell us about it. Now, I am absolutely shocking at this process.
No, you're not.
I love coffee. No, that's fine. I'm not. I'm pretty terrible at going... Because what you're meant to do is you're meant to think, what does this flavour remind me of? It's always coffee, obviously. So I'd be like, coffee. It's always coffee. But what does it remind you of? What is it kind of familiar? What does it bring to your mind of other foods and tastes and flavours you've had? And I'm really bad at kind of pinning that down to me. And then Linda will go, you know, oh, vanilla. And I'm like, oh, yes. Or that cornflakes we once had, you know. And then you're like, ah, yeah, I really get it. So what do you get?
But all they say for that is, while you're eating food, be mindful, be conscious. So if you wanted to get into tasting stuff,
I'm up in the clouds.
think about the taste of your cereal, think about the taste of the rice, think about, and just like, so that it logs a memory in your brain, so that when you come to trying to define something like this, it triggers the memory of, it has that feel of that. That's all it is, isn't it? It's like you've just got to learn to use the muscles, I think.
So tell us
But
about
I haven't fully at all.
what is in here.
But it's so fruity. It's really consistent as well, isn't it? They're all
It's
the same.
really consistent.
All the same. Second one's maybe slightly duller. But it's really fruity. Sarah, we've got Peru. We've got 4 Perus, just because we're just checking it, and then in Mexico.
Also, just while Lynn's about to tell us a bit more about the flavours, I put the most brilliant photo on this one. It just makes me laugh. Like, this needs to go on your fridge if you get this. When you get this as a subscription, check out
William.
William Maldonado. William Maldonado. There he is. Look at him. He's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
You managed to say it like
In
El
his-
Dorado.
El Dorado in his micro-lot farm.
Is that
That
something
might
at the door?
be the door. So I'll let Linda tell you about the flavours.
Thanks, Brooke. Dad's coming over the boxes around the back. Yeah, it's interesting. So I was saying, Sarah, that I'm doing Mexico because it's a washed coffee, Central America, and Peru's a washed coffee, obviously just into South America. But they're quite different. So the Mexico is nutty, chocolatey, sultanas. So it's got a sweetness. The sultana is really like, it's a good brown sugar kind of sweetness in the Mexico. But the Peru is more, well, we've put summer fruits, vanilla and maple syrup. And I think the vanilla bit is the bit that separates it. It's slightly, it's not at all citrusy in its fruitiness, is it? It's kind of smooth and puddingy, and like you say, it obviously tastes like coffee. We've had people before when we've put
Nutty.
nutty
Nuts.
or nuts, then please can I have my coffee that's not been made in a nut environment,
I'm
or I can't
allergic.
have nuts in it. And there's no nuts, there's no vanilla, we haven't flavoured the coffee, it's not got tea in it, it is just coffee. This is just a process of going, how do I think it tastes when it's just brewed like this and it's black.
Peru's quite interesting, isn't it?
And when it cools, it gets sweeter. So go sip it when it's colder as well. There's nothing wrong with a cooler coffee. You don't have to rush your coffee red hot. If you drink it black and you let it cool and you've brewed it well, you can enjoy massive loads of sweet sugarness when it cools off.
So Mexico is probably a bit more what you expect from South America,
Yeah. like
and a bit more
as well.
Brazilian, that kind of.
Which is
fuller-
weird because
fuller flavour.
Peru is closer to Brazil.
But
isn't it?
exactly, this is where I was
Mountain
going.
range wise.
Because I'm actually quite surprised these aren't more similar. Like we started,
Yeah.
and you saying the flavour notes, but actually flavour notes are very
Yeah.
different. I mean, there's still a bit more of a boldness, full flavouredness to it that you would expect from
I really like it.
South America,
I'm just going to drink it now. I need some coffee.
where it's coffee
It
time.
is a good Peru, Sarah. It's a micro lot. It's grown quite high. It's good. Is it 1,500 metres?
Yeah.
So it's good. Okay, but what's a washed coffee? A washed
It's
coffee,
a good all-rounder, that.
briefly, is when at the coffee station, so normally farmers pick the coffee and they might process it where they are, or they might take it to a processing station, and a washed process is where they usually batter the coffee cherries around in water, like shooting it with like a jet washer sort of idea, where it's or in a washing machine, and it just batters it, and it washes off all the pulp and all the cherry to get down to the 2 seeds in the middle, and it's been washed, and then they dry those seeds, the coffee beans. So that's the washed one. And then a natural process is where you see them
Opposite.
racked out in their cherry, drying on big beds, and they're just turning them, and they're slightly fermenting as they turn them in the sun, and that gives it a way more intense, normally more sugary flavour, but this is really sugary, so I wonder if it would just be too much if it was natural processed,
Yeah.
because it's really good as it is, so they've got it right.
Just all affects the flavours, that little bit, how often it's raked in the drying and all that. And then obviously a natural, once it's dried in the cherry, they then pulp it to get rid of all the cherry afterwards. So it's kind of, it's still done, but it's done later
Yeah.
in the process to give a slightly different flavour. A wash tends to be a little bit more crispy, clean,
Yeah.
exactly what you get from that bean with nothing else really, and a natural will tend to be just a little bit more.
It's definitely a cleaner mouthfeel, so you like,
I think we prefer
you slurp it,
naturals.
drink it, and when you've swallowed it, there's not a big hit of aftertaste. It's just kind of nice and light.
Yeah.
which this is.
Natural can just be
It's
a bit
good
more
coffee,
interesting,
it's
a
good.
bit different.
So if you're someone who likes dark coffee and punchy South American chocolate nuttiness and you're on subscription, don't panic about this one. I think like play with it and try, because it's just a little bit different, but it's still familiar South American, isn't it? It's just that it's got a lovely
Some
smooth
fruits.
fruity note. It's not acidic or citrusy at all.
Mm.
Let us know what you think. It's fun getting something different every month.
Exactly. As the spring comes, we've got some nice fruitiness coming after the snow-filled Mexican full-bodiedness. There we go. Anyway,
Wow, poetic.
happy Wednesday, everyone.
Yes.
Enjoy whatever you're
I'm
up
feeling
to.
ready for like loads of action now.
We-
We've had like, quite a lot of coffee there. Most people spit it out like you do with wine, but I think with wine I wouldn't spit it out, and I don't
Never
with coffee
spit out
either.
wine. And then
Should do really. 'Cause we're a bit like, never mind. Sorry. Look, see.
there you go. There you go. We've got more subscriptions going out today, actually. So we are. We're better get back to it.
Better get back to
Better
work.
get back to it.
None of this slacking.
Happy Wednesday.
Yeah, happy Wednesday, everyone.
midweek,
Thanks for joining us.
And we will see you Friday
See you
for
Friday.
more fun 11 a.m. coffee time. See you
Yes,
later.
see you then. Bye bye.